This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 30. Welcome to Comic Geek Speak, proud member of the Comics Podcast Network. I'm Brian Deemer.
I'm Matt. I'm Jamie D.
I'm Shane Kelly.
I'm Peter Rios.
Hey, it's me.
Prove it.
You're a dick.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is our 30th episode.
We're old.
There is much rejoicing.
Yay.
But yeah, that's actually old, like in the land of podcasting.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, I mean,
I remember in the day.
yeah, back in episode 1 when we had no hardware. So, we just were talking about it before we started recording. We're totally unprepared for this episode. I mean, we all have notes and papers in front of us, but we didn't talk about it amongst ourselves, so we really have no idea where this show is going to go. So this is an adventure for all of us.
Yeah. I'm going to start off, though.
Oh, go ahead,
Uh-oh.
Peter.
Because I wasn't here for the last
He
podcast.
hasn't
Neither
been
was
here
I.
for like a week or so. So now he has
Right,
to
so I'm
speak.
missing. I'm like, I need to podcast. And I was listening to Brian and Jamie on episode 29. And the question of my sexuality came up in a very funny segment.
Hey, we backed it up.
Yeah.
That's right. I said there was nothing wrong with it if you were.
Right. And to prove that I am heterosexual and comfortable with my heterosexuality,
You don't have to
I'm
prove
going to
anything.
kiss Jamie right now. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm a man, that I am comfortable with my sex. Come here, you. Come here. I'm going to get up. I'm going to kiss him right now.
I don't want to see that.
Come here. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm ready
He
for it.
was
I'm comfortable too.
I'm not that comfortable.
That was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
He jumped back awfully
You see
quick.
how quick he
God.
almost attacked me? I think we're going to have to question you, Jamie.
I think Jamie's like, I'm going to call your bluff.
That's right. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Wow. So I just had to
I
bring
was
that
frightened for a moment. I really was.
I was right in between them.
I was halfway out of the room.
up. So anyway.
Yowza.
Yowza. Hey, I have to ask something. We always do emails, and I'm sure you're probably going to
Oh,
go
I got
right there.
tons of email.
You said there was an email specifically you were going to wait for me? Something? I don't know.
Yeah,
something.
and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Are you sure you can hear me? Because I can't hear myself in my headphones. It sounds weird.
Yeah, we
Yeah, you
hear you
sound
just fine.
All right, good. So I'm going to start at the bottom. We really have been getting a lot of email lately, which is fantastic.
great, yeah.
Because I love getting emails. So let me see here. First one from J.M. Campbell. We've gone back and forth a few times.
Oh, I have to send him. He won he stumped. What? No, he stumped the Rios in
Yeah.
2 episodes ago. 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I think so.
So actually, you have to send him. So I have his address if you don't
That's
have
right.
it.
I do. Damn. Okay. It says, first off, thanks for letting me get my mention of my podcast in there. It actually generated quite a few new subscribers. So congratulations. That's geek4x4.libsyn.com is his podcast. But I'll rescind the Teen Titans question since they don't explicitly say what the translation is in the book, and since it's so new, he may have just not had a chance to read it yet. I'll give Rios one shot to substitute.
Oh.
It's
this
a
is-
Marvel question.
This is
Well,
interesting.
good. So I'm glad we didn't send him anything.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, anyway, as you might say
Wow,
today.
who knows?
It's a Marvel question. At the end of X-Men Age of Apocalypse, 5 characters traveled to the regular Marvel universe. Who were they?
5. I thought there were 4. It's X-Man, Sugar Man, the Dark Beast, and Holocaust.
Mhm.
And I'll assume he means the 5th one to be Bishop.
That's correct. You read him.
Woohoo!
You said him in the exact same order that he
wrote
typed them. And I swear to God, people with these Stunt the Reels, we do not cheat. Peter has asked me to cheat in the past, and I have refused because his reputation's on the line, and I'm putting him on the spotlight. So
That's funny.
there you go.
All right, so we don't have to send him anything.
Yeah.
Hey.
Only because he was so kind
That-
as to
yeah,
substitute
yeah.
a question. Cool.
Give another plug to his, what is it? Geek4x4.libsyn.com.
Correct. Yes. He talks about some comic stuff. He talks about some electronic stuff. Kind of all geeky stuff in general, all wrapped into one. All right. Hey, we got a down at Wizard World, we ran into a buddy of ours from that comic shop up here in Reading, Dave LaManna. I think all you guys know him. He was actually in Crusaders. He played the judge in Crusaders. Right. But we hadn't seen him for a while, so we handed him one of our CDs. And he sent us an email and says, "Hey, it's me, Dave. I liked the show. I listened to your show last night and really liked it. Thanks for telling me about it. Made me miss the old days in the store, standing around talking about comics for hours."
Wow.
And he says, if we ever need another person to sit in, let him know. So I'm going to absolutely let him know because the more the merrier here in the studio. So he just wanted to let us know that he got a new listener, and he'll be tuning in each week.
Cool.
So thanks, Dave. We're glad you're listening, and we'll be in touch shortly about things. I think Tasha's watching TV. I can hear.
I thought it was a fight outside
in the background here. Once again, professionalism shot to hell. Okay, here we go. All right, this is a good long one from Ryan Johnson. He's talked to us before, and he says, "Great show, guys. I have really enjoyed listening to your shows listen to you guys expand the show." He says, "I completely disagreed with your Star Wars Revenge of the Sith opinions, but that's what opinions are for. Just a couple thoughts as I listened to the last podcast." He has a lot of stuff here. I'm going to skim over it. The comic book Book of the Month Club idea sounds great. He says, instead of Stump the Rios, maybe we could do Stump the Comic Geeks. That way we can ask Marvel questions. Well, we ask Peter Marvel questions anyway. So he gripes about it.
You might not get them right.
I'm all-knowing.
But we still ask him, and he still knows a hell of a lot more than me. So, and I'm the Marvel nutcase. So I think we'll keep it Stump the Rios, and we can ask any questions. Marvel,
yeah, and you guys certainly,
DC.
you guys certainly chime in if I don't get it, So
yeah,
you'll get to.
He says, "I would love to hear your views on some even geekier topics. Stuff you hear at the local shop, stuff like best single superpower to have, best costume, favorite lame character, best super couple, and favorite single character." He has some. He answered his own. Best single superpower to have. He says transformation, i.e. Mystique. He says best costume, Ultimate Thor. Favorite lame character, mine is actually Speedball. I loved the New Warriors. Best super couple, he has Spidey and Black Cat. Meow. He has favorite single character, he has Nightcrawler, the non-priest version, and a close second is Spidey. I think best single superpower. I have thought about this, and my answer is speed. Because I think you can do damn near everything you need to do with speed. You don't have to be super strong. I mean, other than lifting a car off someone, but if you're so fast, you can beat anybody up because you can punch them 500,000 times before they can even, see you.
Is it favorite or best? Like my favorite one would be flight.
Well, I think best. I was logically thinking if I had these powers, how could I use them? You could steal anything you want because you can get there faster and no one even see you coming. You can get anywhere in the world quickly because you run across the ocean just like the Flash or whatever. So you can be a world traveler without having to fly. Because flight doesn't give you anything else. If you just fly, that's cool, but what else can you do but fly around? Nothing, really.
Mine would be telepathy on the scale of Charles Xavier.
I was
because
thinking
you
telekinesis.
You can go up to anybody and go, "Hey, give me a 10." And they're going to give you a $10 bill. You can just go up to a movie theater, "Hey, I want to get in for free." Shoot, you're in.
You don't
know what I mean?
need to see his identification.
Yeah, literally, what can't you do? Other than, you can't obviously travel across the world as fast as you can if you have
you still have to
speed,
get on the plane.
But you could get a whole plane by yourself. All right, everybody off the plane. Shoot, they're done. Pilot, go. I know logistically it'll cause problems, with the air traffic controller. Be like, what's that one guy doing on the plane? But you just zap people. I can't see the downside to having just telepathy, so that would be mine.
I kind of like telepathy with telekinesis, but I don't know if anybody has that alone.
Jean Grey does.
Yeah.
Speaking to the microphone, Peter.
Like Jean Grey.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can move stuff as well as do everything that Peter just said. That'd be mine.
For me, it's always been invisibility. I would just,
Just hang out.
I was gonna say girls' locker room.
See, I was thinking
See,
X-ray vision for
I guess
that.
that's like
you
the-
can
the
accomplish
stalker in
that with the super speed because, like the Flash, he can just blur himself. So he's just almost standing in one spot or going back and forth between the two sides of the room so
Yeah,
quickly.
but I'd like to take my time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you really want the reputation if you're going into Eagles cheerleader locker room to be known as Speedy?
They wouldn't even know you were there.
Well,
Like I said, I'd like to take my time.
Yeah, but if you're that fast, then your metabolism catches up with you, and then you're ready to go second time,
Hey,
no
you-
problem.
You better
know-
hope you don't wind up like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What happened to him?
Yeah, the Invisible Man.
I have a good joke that my grandmother actually told me concerning the Invisible Man. Was it Superman was kind of bored one day and he wanted to get some women, so he flies out to the Batcave and he sees Batman. He says, "Hey, you want to go out and find some women?" Batman's, "No, I got to fix the Batmobile." All right, fine. He takes off. And why this character's in, I don't know, but he goes and he finds Spider-Man. He says, "You want to go find some women?" "No, I can't. I have to fix my web shooters." "Fine." And he flies off, and Superman's flying around, and he sees Catwoman spread naked right on top of a building. He's thinking, this is great. I'll go use super speed, go down, bang, 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 get away. She'll never know I was there. So he swoops down, he bangs her, and he leaves. He's feeling great. And you cut away to Catwoman, and she's like, "What the hell was that?" And the Invisible Man says, "I don't know, but my ass hurts."
I heard that
There's
one
your
before.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great
What about
grandmother
you,
joke
Matt?
there.
I would have to say invulnerability. For me, that's half the battle right there. If you could pretty much, if you're going superhero wise, you might not be the fastest one there. You might not be able to fly away, but if someone throws a grenade in front of the president or something like that, you could jump on top of it.
Well, not this president.
Wow,
I said
he's the
president.
only one of us that thought heroically.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
yeah.
He's the only one of us. The rest of us are like, yeah, locker room, stealing money, movies, and he's talking about saving the president. Wow.
Or a helpless old lady. It doesn't have to be someone that.
Of that caliber.
Of
For
that caliber.
shame, people, for shame.
That's right.
No, I'm all just about running around
And I'm
anywhere
going
in
to
the
hell.
globe
I already
can
know
get in a
that. You're the
second.
ones that are abusing your powers.
Well, we know Brian has a track record. I mean, we talked about that before, and you
Yeah.
said about Superman's powers, and he'd be General Zod.
No, I wouldn't be evil. Like, I wouldn't be hardcore
Okay.
evil. I wouldn't have world domination. I would just take what I wanted when I wanted it. But probably from the people who could afford to have it taken from them. I'm not
Right.
going to go steal from some homeless guy. That's not my gig.
Almost the crime syndicate.
But Bill Gates, look out.
Especially with his mansion.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Best lame character?
Favorite lame
Favorite
character.
ambush bug. Flat out ambush bug.
Totally agree. That was exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I have to go Speedball, too, just because, he's got a place in my heart now.
I don't know. I never read Ambush Bug.
No.
I know he's lame.
You got any other
Howard the
ones?
Duck's pretty lame.
Howard the Duck's pretty lame. I don't know. I never liked Silver Surfer that much. I mean, has a herald to Galactus, fine, but I'd probably say Ambush Bug or Prez, something like
Prez.
that.
The teen president.
Best costume.
I'm going with Batman. I love that thing.
Which one?
Dark, like Commando, all gray, black bat symbol, black cape, black cow, everything.
So
As
pretty
dark-
much like the
As
modern-
dark and invisible that he can get, yeah. And all the gadgets. Gadgets
I would
galore.
say it's a toss-up between that one and I like the black suited Spidey. Not necessarily the symbiote, but just
just the black suit, yeah.
I'm not even sure what mine would be.
And then I'd say Flash. I like that too.
My favorite is always has been, always will be Captain America.
I was just going to say, I really like the ultimate Captain America. With his World War II
With the
cap
boots and the
stuff.
belt.
I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
That's okay, but I've always loved the shield.
Hey, the dogs are barking. What would the show be
Yeah,
if the
some
dogs
dogs.
did not bark?
The wings on the head, the shield, everything, the chainmail. It just, to me, it's just, classic.
I don't know if I have one, but somewhere, was it in The Wizard just lately, where they were talking about Green Lantern's costume and how it really was like one of the first costumes to break the mold. It didn't have a belt. It didn't have a cape. The shoulders...
It was a jumpsuit.
Yeah, the
Didn't need a
shoulders.
belt.
The shoulders had they were angular as opposed to other styles, and I don't think I have a favorite on that one.
I
The
would-
Tigra.
Sandman, the
I like Tigra's costume.
Golden Age Sandman's costume
Yeah.
is cool, just because he wears
Yeah.
that gas mask. That looks cool.
I like the fedora hat too. I would have thought you'd have picked Nightwing.
Oh, I thought of that, but that's that as a costume, it's a great costume. I mean, I certainly love it, but it's more because of the character, not so much the costume.
Let's. Oh, Jesus, the dogs. There's nobody even here. They just think they hear stuff.
What was the other one? Best couple?
Best super couple.
Well, it's not really a super couple,
Daredevil and Black Widow.
but Preacher and Tulip.
Yeah.
That was they're a pretty damn good couple.
I kind of like Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
Well, but she's not a super
couple.
He's
I thought
posing
he's-
it like two people with
yeah.
powers.
Okay, well,
They're
let me
couple.
think about that.
Oh,
Maybe Batman and Catwoman or something.
yeah.
Sue and Reed.
Oh yeah. Jamie's just like he's so relaxed. And every answer he's like, I know exactly what I'm going to say.
He's already thought about
ahead of
all
time.
these questions.
That's right.
Do you wake up in the middle and like, oh, that's it. That's what I was saying.
Yes, I do.
I have to agree. I think Black Cat and Spidey are a good couple. I always thought she was more attractive than Mary Jane. And
Oh, yeah.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
All right, favorite single character.
That's easy. Night.
Oh shit!
What the
What is that?
hell?
It's Skype calling. I
Did you get it? Did you
This
get it
is-
working?
Oh, this is no. I mean, it works, but they wouldn't be able to hear. We wouldn't be able to record. Are you here?
We heard the phone ring.
Somebody's up on this saying hi. It says from. I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to say the name over the air.
I don't even know who it is. It's just some random person.
But that's great.
Hey,
See what
once
happened-
again,
See what happened when you turned
welcome to the
back?
wonderful world of podcasting.
Live.
It's totally crap-filled adventure.
At first, I was like, "Shit, was that my phone?"
No, that ringtone's not gay enough.
Oh, thanks.
Just when we thought we were getting professional,
That's
they pull us back in.
Oh
Just
boy!
Peter turning
Now
off
he's
his
turning
phone.
off his
Turning off my
phone,
phone.
making sure.
All right, my favorite character, obviously, Nightwing.
I'm going with Booster Gold. I'd say Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, but I'm going with Booster Gold.
Mine's Daredevil.
Matt's
Oh,
easy.
Jamie doesn't have.
Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
Jamie's not sure of this one.
Bum,
Yeah,
bum, bum.
it's always been tough for me because I've always been a group comic person. I've always liked more bang for my buck, so I always wanted, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Justice League, Champions, Defenders. I've loved them all, and it always comes down to, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to say Captain America. It always seems to come back to that one for me. I read him in just about any incarnation they put him in, and I do enjoy him. But that's always a very tough question for me to narrow it down to just one.
All right. He also recommends that we should have a segment called CGS Versus, where we pit two heroes or villains against each other and discuss why one would win over the other. That it might be too geeky.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ryan, I might have to draw the line right there.
That could make for some interesting
It could.
conversations.
It
though.
sure could. We might have to try it once in a while. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see. We won't do it this episode because we're not prepared. But maybe
Right.
next time
Right.
we'll surprise you with one. And he says they also think segments about popular artists and writers would be great. You wouldn't have to worry about spoilers. Well, we do. I mean, we talk about. I mean, we don't talk
dedicate
about
a
them
whole
usually in
episode.
reference to their books as opposed to this them by themselves. But
And we still have on the back burner. We want to talk about art movements, art styles throughout the comic industry,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
that'll be a long one episode, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And then he says, anyway, like I said, I love the show, partly because you guys yammer about the same stuff me and my buddies do. Keep on trucking. Right.
great. Keep on emailing.
That's right. All right. Let me go to that. Whoops. And
You know what? Before you start, he did mention about the Book of the Month Club, and just to throw it out there as a reminder, we're going to do Crisis on Infinite Earths. Try to have that read by the end of the month.
I have to
Yeah,
skim through that again.
Yeah.
I'm slowly but surely. I mean, this is the third time I've read it, but I'm slowly but surely getting my way back through it again.
You
Right.
finish
God,
it every
I
time?
Yeah, I finish every time. But God, I forgot so much that was in that. Oh, it was so good though.
Yeah,
Any-
and send us your thoughts. Send us some, do a Geek of the Day on Crisis if you want. We want your feedback as well as we talk about it.
Anybody reading the Crisis novel?
No, not
I
yet.
haven't
Not yet.
started it yet.
I started it.
Matt, you have to get your buddy Adam to be able to call in when we do the All Crisis episode because
All right, just give me a date.
he's the guy who's doing his master's thesis on Crisis.
On why they decided to do that as rather than just restart the comics, why they had to be something that massive.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
That's very, very cool.
And to think, when I first got him started in comics, from Friday he thought they were ridiculous to the end he was hooked of one weekend.
I love it.
Yes.
You turned one.
It was a Fantastic Four issue. I think I still have it.
Oh,
that
geez,
he
even on
read it and
FF,
he was like,
wow.
oh.
Hey, we got another email from Ryan. He actually painted a picture of Christopher Reeve with the Superman costume, and I actually linked it on the blog. So we just want to give a shout out to Ryan for that picture. It's very cool. He said he did it for a magazine, and he's going to donate the original to the Reeves Foundation. So that's
cool.
awesome. All right, and okay, here we got one from a guy who just goes by James. He has no last name. Says, I really enjoyed your last show on the collapse of the industry in the 1990s. I was an avid reader of comics from about 76 to 88. I finally got out of reading comic books. I have in the last 4 months become hooked again. I remember I stopped buying comics about the time the evil Baxter paper started hitting comics. I believe it was the mid-80s equivalent of the multiple covers scam. I thought to myself that if DC and the other companies were going to start charging me an extra 50 cents for fancy paper, it was time to get out, since I bought comics for the writers, not the artists. It never hurt to have a good artist, but a good writer makes a comic. Looking forward to your next podcast, James.
Wow, I loved Baxter
Yeah, I love
paper.
that paper. Everything was so
hated
clear.
it.
Did
I
you
hate it.
really?
I
Yeah.
hated it
Why?
because I loved at that point. I mean, not saying I've stopped doing it. At that point, I was still at home. I'd read them up in my room, and I would lay on my bed to read them. I'd lay on my stomach, read, and you had to sit in a certain way,
Yes.
or you couldn't see anything. It was the light would come down, and I had to sit there and tilt my comic so I could read it. And I hated that paper. There was to me never a real reason to use that paper.
See, now I thought that of the shiny stuff that I have to sit a certain way because I
Yeah,
can't
like some
see
of the
it.
current
Yeah.
90s
Right.
stuff, the
Hey, I
glossy.
know that at one time there was comics with the cover at least. You would hold it, and if it was black or dark colors, when you were done reading it, it came off in your hand, and you could see your fingerprints on the back of it.
I never had that.
no,
I know the
don't know.
fingerprints
I
would
had
get
that
on
in
there, but no.
magazines.
And it was, I don't know if maybe it's just because certain times of the like nowadays, depending on where I sat, that my hands might sweat
Yeah.
a little bit, but it just seemed like the ink was coming off, and I was like, "What the hell is this? I already lost."
Like Baxter paper to me it was like it was like newsprint
Plus.
with plus like because the
Newsprint
colors
plus.
were so vibrant, but yet I didn't get
no,
that
I
whole
liked
glossy.
it. No, I didn't
thing.
either. Just like
No,
I have some
I
Batman.
just never liked it. I just it always cheesed me off. When you go from one to the other, and it was. I don't need it. It's bells and whistles that I don't
I mean,
need.
it definitely was the start of like, okay, let's fiddle with every type of paper we can. You
Yeah,
know?
and
Yeah.
plus, the Baxter paper made for them to, jack the price up on certain comics that they didn't need to really jack the price up on.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way, and I it's one of the reasons I like some trades is you get them and they have the cheaper paper in them, and it's not shiny, and I can actually see without sitting in the exact right position, because I hate that. And I still, normal comics are all shiny. I hate all that crap. I want old, cheap
when
newsprint.
they went to the glossy.
Oh yeah, that was
ugh.
horrible. That was totally bad.
All right, we got another comment about the 90s thing. He says, this is from Ed Moore. He says, hey guys, I love the show. I just finished number 28 and wanted to comment on the 90s comic bubble. Something to remember, and this is supported month in and month out by title cancellations. The comic industry is a consumer-driven model. You guys pointed out the problem with all the gimmicks used to sell the books, but then you also explained how you yourselves bit and bought the books. The biggest problem at the time was the comic speculator, and you gentlemen, as well as myself, sent the message that we wanted bling by buying the books. If the books are not purchased, that gimmick will not be used again. He says, the exception is the X-Books. I am a devout follower of Xavier's army, and we are some of the most gullible buyers out there. Yes, that's true. We want to complete the story, so we are more than willing than most to be strung around. As such, most X-readers will buy it if it's connected. This includes me. I kick my ass every month when I send in my order to mailordercomics.com.
Ah, that's
Hey,
nice.
Shane,
Yeah,
there you go.
35% more on each issue, on every issue each month. Good shit. Anyway, I see all the X-related books, and I can't believe I continue to buy them. Thanks for your time. There is so much more out there than can ever be discussed. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Spend the bucks elsewhere. Well, Ed, I agree with you. And that's why I do not buy multiple covers of anything anymore. I put that long behind me and 10 years ago.
I had put that behind me, but this new stuff that DC does, and I'm a sucker.
I'm right with you.
Oh man, every second, third print, I'm grabbing a new copy.
Back in the sheep.
Now, wait a minute. In my defense, though, and during that time, I wasn't as crazy. I mean, I saw
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't
those
do
Robin
it back-
limited
no.
series with the poly bag and the
No.
whole. I was like, no way.
No.
And even like
One copy.
X-Men, back then they really did have like a newsstand edition versus
Sure,
direct
sure.
sales, and I used to always get the newsstand editions.
Really?
Yeah.
Always?
Most of the time, like with X-Men, that Phalanx Covenant thing had the holographic covers.
Yeah.
I mean, holographic trading cards on the cover. I didn't get them. I was like, no way, I ain't getting those. Just get the regular stores, like $1 cheaper, you know.
Yeah. If they ever give me a choice, I'm buying whatever's cheapest.
Yeah.
I don't care about
I
any
like-
of that
No,
stuff.
I don't know, because Hush, the last part of that, he had two covers. You could get one with all the villains and one with all the heroes. And I wound up buying both just because I thought they were neat pull-out posters. And
Yep.
then I just ordered the posters anyways, but I thought they were neat pull-out posters.
Bah.
Oh, excuse me, mister. I need to have Identity Crisis first printing, second printing, third printing, and now the hard
Hey, at
copy.
least I didn't get the negative issue though. Negative number 1. I didn't get
Yeah,
that.
listen, if anybody in Europe or Mexico or something has different language versions of Identity Crisis, Peter will
I
pay
may
you
just
for
buy
them.
it.
Except Spanish, because he doesn't read Spanish or speak it.
OMAC 1, OMAC 2.
Yeah, I
OMAC
got
Print
those
3.
OMAC
Yep.
3.
OMAC
Yeah.
Print 4.
I got all 3 of Villains United.
And I have to say, I'm
even
just-
though I wouldn't have gotten the second one if I
No,
would have known
if
what
I
the
would have
third
known the
one
third
was.
one,
Yeah.
absolutely, and I'm hoping to find the third one.
Shouldn't get anything except for the first damn one
That's
you
right,
buy.
just buy one.
No,
Goddamn variant cover.
They go in your box, and you never look at them ever again.
Actually, when I was still at home, I used to hang up all the different covers, and like every now and then I would just switch them out. I had them in bags and boards, and I would switch out. That was
Geek.
my decorations. Yeah.
I got to tell you, not to go back to a previous podcast, but where do you have all this time?
When,
I
find that
no.
very
when I was
interesting.
home,
That would
before
start.
I was
That would
married,
start.
before kids,
Okay, I was just wondering.
way before.
I got enough problems finding time to read my comics the first time, let alone the
Oh,
different
I'm
kind of-
totally behind on comics. I'm like 2 months behind.
All right. We got another email from Pete Rogers. He won the last Stump the Audience, and he just was responding. He says, "Hey guys, I'm so happy I won. It was a blast going through those Preacher trades. It's been a while since I've read them." He says, "Look for me in the forum under the name Worst for Wine. Thanks again, Pete."
Oh, he's the one from Allentown.
Yes,
Cool.
I have to actually forward you his address
Right,
so
so
you
I
can
can
send him that stuff.
out.
He said works for wine?
Worse.
Or worse for wine. Yeah.
Yes. And
My brother Steve,
We'll
I
work
said
for
hi.
wine.
and we got another one.
And your father, mister?
What the heck? I don't. This guy, he goes by Panelologist. Okay. He says, "Hi guys, I am a very long-time comic fan that has only discovered your podcast a few weeks ago. I honestly love your work, and I am now a devoted listener. Woohoo! You have a great on-air rhythm going between the two of you, and you do not patronize your listeners, which is a big mistake that some of your rivals do.
Burn.
Best of luck for the future, Panelologist." He says, "I also produce a comic blog. This is a web address if you care to have a look. It's panelology.myblogsite.com/blog. I'll say that again, panelology.myblogsite.com/blog. Well, thanks for listening, Panelologist.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and we'll that URL will be in the show notes at some point. So if you don't understand what I'm saying or know how to spell it, you can look it up. That's the end of my. That's the end of the email I got right now.
Cool.
So, I have something. Before I forget, It's now June. It's now full on the summer bike riding season. I'm a big bicycle. I ride my bike constantly.
You're a big bicycle? What?
Bicyclist.
Oh, I thought he said bicycle. Didn't he say bicycle?
Not like a motorcycle biker guy. There's confusion there. But anyway.
No, we thought that was your superpower. You were a big bicycle.
That's right. I can morph into a Schwinn. Yes.
Banana seat.
Well, anyway, every September, at the end of September, I participate in this enormous 150-mile bike ride that raises money for MS. And there's over 5,000 riders who do it. We ride from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is just across the river from Philadelphia, and we ride all the way across New Jersey to the Jersey Shore to Ocean City, New Jersey. And we do that on Saturday. That's 75 miles. And then you wake up Sunday morning and you ride back. So it's 150 miles. And they raise a couple $1 million for MS, and it's a huge deal. And so I am going to ask the audience if you can help me raise the $250 that I need to ride in the race. And what I'm asking for is everyone to donate $1, just $1. If you listen to the show and you like the show and you think it's worth $1, I'm going to put a link on the blog, because the link is ridiculously long. I can't even begin to name it. You won't even be able to write it down. Just click on that link. It goes directly to the National MS Society page that will have my information on it. You can use your credit card, or you can. I think you can even do like checking account transfers, but $1. I mean, if I get 250 people to just donate $1, I'm good. If I get more, it's great, because all the money, it's like 90% of the money goes right to MS research. So we don't ask for money for the show, but I'm going to ask for money for this. If you want to donate 2 or 5 or 10, I'm certainly not going to say no, but just $1. I mean, you won't even notice it on your credit card bill next month. Big deal. So please, if you have an extra $1, please help me out. It would really appreciate it.
Cool. What's the date of that race?
That is, I don't have it's like the third weekend in September.
Is that the time that you asked me to follow in front of you so you can hook onto my vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, last year was a hell of a ride. It was there was some enormous thunderstorm, like the whole way down. Now we started. I always ride it with my brother and a friend of ours, and we started pretty early, like 6:30 in the morning or whatever. So we were kind of like beating the thunderstorm, but behind us, some people were getting drenched the whole way. But then it caught up to us and came through, and so you're just riding, and there's no place to stop. So you just get completely, totally soaked in like 5 seconds, as the thunderstorm, and then you just keep riding, because at this point you're already so wet. And then there was such an incredible headwind the whole ride too. I mean, literally like 10, 20 mile an hour headwind the entire ride. So you're riding 75 miles plus like an extra 20 miles for the headwind, And when you get to the Jersey Shore, they're little waterways, so they have these big bridges that go up and over them before you get to Ocean City. So, you're pedaling up the hill, and at this point you've gone 75 miles, because this is like the last couple miles into the city. So you're exhausted from riding 75 miles, and then you have to go up this hill, which normally would not be a big hill at all, but because you've gone that far, it seems like Mount Everest. But then the relief is, well, then you get to come down, and so you get to haul ass down the hill and go 50 miles an hour down the hill. Except that the wind was so strong that I actually had to pedal down the hill. It almost knocked my bike over because there was so much wind. I had to pedal harder to go downhill than I did to go uphill, because I had to struggle to not fall over. So last year was a hell of a friggin' ride. Jeez. And then coming home, I had the flu.
Oh, jeez.
So it was a brutal ride, but it's a great ride, and I'd really appreciate your $1.
How long have you been doing it?
Well, I started doing it when I was in high school, and I did it 3 years in a row, and then I got out of cycling for a little while, and then last year was the first time I did it again. So this will be my 5th year doing it.
Cool.
And but it's a great ride.
You'll have to create a shirt with Comic Geek Speak on your back.
Well,
so
see, the thing is, we wear special bike jerseys but actually that brings up another point. If there's anybody out there who owns a business, and you can create teams for this ride, and a lot of teams get businesses to sponsor them. They print up jerseys, bike jerseys with the team's name on it, and they raise money as a team, and then the teams get recognition and they get listed, so bobsgarage.com team or whatever.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
DCBS.
That's right. But so if anybody would want to sponsor a team, all you have to do is pay to have a couple jerseys printed up, and that's it. There's no like team costs or sponsorship costs or anything like that. It's just whatever you want to wear to call yourself a team. So you could do that too. But you can email me if you're interested in that. But otherwise, just give me $1, and I'll keep us updated on my status of this as I raise money along this season.
That's not the same date as the Boston Con, is it?
I don't know.
September. You said September
Might be.
17th.
Baltimore.
Well, I mean Baltimore, not Boston.
September 17th, 18th. I'm
18th.
pretty sure is Baltimore.
It might be.
Oh,
I don't know. It might be the weekend after that, though. Again, I'm not sure. I don't have my papers in front of me.
for those of you, we're Shane's definitely going down to the
Yeah.
Baltimore Con,
Yep.
September 17th and 18th, and he's kind of throwing it out there.
Huh?
Huh?
Is your gay play going to be done by then?
My gay play's gonna be done in a week. Shut up. I'm gonna go over there and kiss you next.
I don't
Yeah, I mean, if it's not that weekend, I definitely want to go to Baltimore.
Yeah.
They'll talk about the year of cons. Philly, San Diego, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right.
So who's got something?
I got something. The MTV Movie Awards, they were just on Thursday,
Oh, yes.
I missed them.
and for Best Fight
Yes, I saw
was.
this.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Was Best Fight won Kill Bill 2, Volume 2. Sorry, Daryl Hannah, Uma Thurman. She wasn't there, but Daryl Hannah was. So Daryl Hannah went up. Quentin Tarantino, and the two stunt women, and one of them was Zoe Bell.
Oh, get out.
So Zoe Bell, and so she didn't speak or anything, but Quentin Tarantino introduced her and the other stunt woman. The other stunt woman actually broke her back during that fight.
Wow.
He said, "That's insane." But Zoe Bell was there, yeah. So it was kind of cool to see her.
Yeah, I saw her just
Yeah,
a month
you
ago or
yeah.
whatever in New York.
That's cool.
Did you see when Eva Mendes, or I forget how you pronounce her name, came out, but they actually said she's in Ghost Rider?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
And
I heard that.
I was a little disappointed for anyone that didn't see it when they did the movies to win. Spider-Man 2 was one of them, but it wound up
Napoleon
losing to
Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's an awesome movie.
Well,
though,
that's all
Napoleon
fan.
Dynamite.
You think of the MTV fan, that
Right, yeah.
age. Of course, they're going to go for
Napoleon
that.
Dynamite's good, but just in a different way.
Yeah.
And then they had a Batman.
Tina, come get
thing
some
at the
ham.
beginning.
That you only get that joke if you've seen the movie, but
The other,
I'm laughing my
Yeah,
ass
Jamie's
off.
laughing.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
The other great thing about it was the tribute to Breakfast Club. They had a tribute. They gave them
Oh.
an award, and that was really the song that they did. I forget the band. Yellow Card, maybe.
yeah, Yellow Card did it.
They did.
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah, and it was great. The clips they used and just how perfectly
Was every
timed
cast
it
member
was.
there? From
No,
from
Judd
the-
Nelson and Emilio Estevez they weren't
Ah,
there.
all right.
But the other three were. So was the what's
Yeah,
his
the principal guy.
Yeah.
and the janitor was in the audience. He didn't even go up on stage. It was like, oh, poor guy.
That's Paul Gleason as the teacher.
Right.
What's Emilio and Judd doing if they couldn't show up to that?
Who knows? Who knows?
You know,
Drugs.
I saw pictures.
Whores.
I saw pictures in Entertainment Weekly of Judd Hirsch, and I thought they said it was
Judd Hirsch?
from
Nelson.
not
Judd
Judd
Nelson.
Nelson. And I thought they said it was from the MTV Movie Awards. So
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know. He
I don't
wasn't
know.
on stage because I saw the picture online, and it was just the three: Anthony Michael Hall and Ali Sheedy and what's her face?
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
The only I want to, since I'm here, and I talked briefly about the Wizard World convention, and I'm sure Shane has some things
Yeah, I
too
have a
about
couple
it.
things.
Brian and Jamie talked about it in the last podcast, and they talked about how people that they met, sketches that they got, and we handed out CDs galore. Tim Truman got one, right? Didn't you?
Oh,
get one?
yeah.
And
Rick Leonardi.
Rick Leonardi,
And
Mike
Simonson.
Mignola,
I gave one to Simonson and Mike McNolan, Guy
and
Davis.
Guy
got one.
Davis, Michael Avon Omen got one,
Mhm.
and I wanted to shout out to some kind of independent guys that we talked to, and we're really excited about. Just that we were talking to them, and that they hopefully they'll listen. The creators of Johnny Raygun, Rich Woodall and Matt Talbot,
They were fun guys.
they were. I mean, they were just a great bunch of guys. Johnny Raygun. Every time I go to a convention, they always seem to hand one out or whatever.
Yeah, I seem to always find one in my hand.
Right. So
somewhere.
I made a beeline to them. I said we got to support them. So I picked up Johnny Raygun Quarterly number 5 with a Mike Avon Omen cover. They all signed it, and they were just a great bunch of guys, and they really loved their work. So hopefully they're listening. I just wanted to give out a shout out to them. Also, a book called The Collectors that I just spit on
It's that good.
from Shadowed Path Press. and that is by Shannon Jane, Jason Barudi, and Scott Ethan Ambrusen. It was an interesting story. I don't know, I guess I don't want to give it away. At first, when I read it, the collectors, I'm thinking comics, but that's not what it's about. But they were the ones that had like an interesting thing going on about their company. Remember, they were talking about it's not Shadowed Path wasn't.
No, was that?
Or was that?
No, that's a different one.
Oh, that was another one. Okay, I'm sorry. But they all signed it. They were at 3 different stands, and they were really great about the book, and they want feedback. So that's the collectors from those guys. Who was that?
It was like 10.
Oh yeah, I have it here. It's
10
www.10tonstudios.com.
Yeah.
And they were the one where they were saying that they're not necessarily they're more like a bullpen type.
Yeah, well, they're just a bunch of friends who all work in comics, but not on the same comics, not for the same company. So they just kind of like motivate each other by having this little organization. Like the one guy, I don't remember which one, but he did the penciling on that Clockmaker. What the hell was that called?
Yeah.
The clock, something like that.
Yeah, that was a Clockmaker from Image Comics.
The Clockmaker. Yeah, he did the penciling for that.
That was some nice penciling too,
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
It was gorgeous.
Another guy, David Lewis, who teaches at Georgetown University.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Had a bunch of stuff there. One of them was Mortal Coils presents Free Bodies, which was actually a free comic book day giveaway as well. So we talked to him a little bit about his work, and he was all excited.
He teaches comics
Yeah.
at Georgetown University.
That's great.
Which is heavy duty.
Yeah, I thought that was great. So we got our, definitely got our. We also talked to Pete Stathis, who does Evenfall for Slave Labor Graphics, a very personal story. He's based out of West Philadelphia, and that's another great book. So all these people, we kind of went up and pitched our show, and some of them actually came up to us, or one or two. But
One or two.
well, actually, the guy that teaches at Georgetown, he was like, "Hey, I heard your pitch." We gave him a business card. But they all seemed really excited, and I look forward to emailing them soon about their books and hopefully getting some
we want
interviews
to get
going.
a whole lot of interviews lined
Yeah.
up.
Did you have it? Go ahead. You want
Me?
to say anything?
Well, I got to meet a lot of the people that I wanted to this time around. I met Trisha Helfer, who's number 6 on the new Battlestar Galactica. I met Richard Hatch, who was Apollo on the old Battlestar Galactica. I met Rags Morales and Rick Leonardi, and I also got to talk to Scott Beatty at the DC panel. He was talking about his book, Son of Vulcan. And I didn't think much of the book when I saw it solicited, but after hearing him pitch it a little bit, I went and picked it up at the con and read it just the other night, and I thought it was great. I was kind of excited. It's an interesting take on a superhero where it's a superhero getting a sidekick, and the superhero dies, and the sidekick's left. And it was okay. I liked it. I'm curious to see the next one. For my boys, I have 2 sons, and when I was growing up and getting Star Wars toys, I was a big R2-D2 fan. And my oldest son, he's 3, and I have him all hooked on R2-D2 with some figures and stuff. So I went up to Kenny Baker and got his autograph for Ben, where the picture is R2-D2 and Kenny Baker standing aside so you can see them simultaneously. And then for my younger boy, I went over to Jeremy Bullock and got a similar picture of him standing aside of Boba Fett. So I got that stuff to hang up for my boys. I picked up a couple toys. I picked up the Wizard World She-Hulk, which I thought was pretty cool. I've never bought a Marvel Select figure, but I picked that up, as well as the Frog Scout Leader Kermits from Palisades, and I got both versions because I'm really a geek. At that stand also, I would have been getting a
Palisades at the stand where they know you by your name.
Yeah,
by
I
your
go up and I
first
know the
name.
guys.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, we know Shane.
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
Shane.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Did you say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out.
Well, I said Shane. I said your whole name.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah, they know me.
They knew exactly who you are.
I love it.
It didn't get anything for it, but
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I'm
where's
not
my
important
free,
or
where's my
nothing.
free stuff? You know, what the heck?
I don't get free stuff. I would have gotten a Super Grover, but I got that online from them a couple months ago. But to my surprise, they didn't say it to anybody at all. They made the Alex Ross cover to the box a print, so I picked up one of those each for my boy to get framed and hang up in their room. So I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. The DC panels were fantastic. It was the best show since the first year that I went, which was the first year. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about the porn wall?
No,
line.
no.
No, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. All I can say is, as I walked down there, I was like, God bless the man who invented silicon. That's all I have to say. Because there were boobs aplenty, and
I mean,
it was one of those.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was walking down, and it was they put all like the porn chicks against the one wall. As you
in
walk
Artist Alley,
in
yeah.
Artist
Yeah,
Alley
yeah.
against the one wall. So, if you were like a kid, parents walking up and down with a kid, you weren't worried about, oh, there's a porn chick, there's a kid doing Donald Duck, comics or something like that. But anyway, I'm walking down, and I'm walking down to one side. I'm looking over at all the girls, and all of a sudden it's just like I hear hello, and I look over, and it's one of those. I almost walk into this woman who's like on the other side. And my attention was all the way. I was, oh, hi. There are other people on the other side of this, but oh man,
Yeah, that was some wall.
That was someone. It just was funny because I'm walking around. I'm like, what's that crowd doing there? Like, what artist is over there in Artist Alley? It's no artist. It's just two boobs. You
And
know.
you had to feel bad for that row of Artist Alley.
Yeah, that was facing them.
They
Well,
got
maybe they had a
dissed.
great. They
Yeah,
have a
maybe,
great
yeah.
view.
Yeah,
I
they had a great
guess.
view.
Some of them,
Hey,
He was thinking, ooh, Nathan Lane.
Hey, I forgot to mention on the show that Jamie and I did last time. One person that we met at the convention was actually Joe Gonzalez. He does the Comics News Insider podcast, and we hooked up with him and talked to him for about 20 minutes, and he was a real nice guy. He actually interviewed Mike Avon Oeming at the show, which I'm very jealous of.
Yeah.
So you should check out his podcast at it's what cni.libsyn.com is, or
It's yes, cni.libsyn.com.
yeah, it's Comic News Insider is what it stands for, and Joe is a really pleasant individual, and we're probably gonna do a little funky thing where we call each other but record each other's
At the same
the
time.
same time. So we'll have the podcast. It'll be the same conversation, but you'll hear it from both sides. If you listen to ours, and then you listen to theirs. So he was already emailing me about lining that up.
That's
so
great.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Did you talk about meeting Bob too from GameStop?
Did we talk about Bob? I can't remember. Well, we met Bob, the guy who at GameCircuit.net, the guy who hosts our podcast. We met him at the show, and actually, there's a funny
you know
story.
Go ahead.
Because we met Bob, and then Bob brought his brother-in-law with him, and his brother-in-law looks at me and goes, "Well, you really look familiar." And I'm like, I don't really think I ever met you before, or maybe I just have that familiar face. So we're talking for 5 minutes, and he goes, "Do you ride your bike a lot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how the hell would you know that?" And he's like, "You were in the MS-150 last year, weren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I was." And then I looked at him and went, "I know who you are." I mentioned that I had the flu on the second day, and I got to the first rest stop, which was 25 miles into the ride, and I said, "There's just no way I can ride the next 50 miles. I just can't do it. I'm just with the flu and the headwind, and I'm done." And so at the rest stop, I had to wait, and I had to put my bike on a bus, and I had to wait around for another bus to take me. And we stopped I was actually at the next rest stop. Then we drove to that rest stop to pick up some more people who were quitting, because the whole ride long, every 20 miles, there's people dropping out of the ride because they just can't do it. So this other guy had to drop out too. He was all beat. He was sick too, and the headwind and everything. And so we're standing there talking for like a half an hour while we're waiting for the bus to leave again. And this was this guy. This is Bob's brother-in-law. So it's just like totally a crazy coincidence that
Very small world.
we hooked up. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
That's cool. I was going to say about the convention, you would have been proud of me. I picked up 9 trade paperbacks.
Nice. What'd you get?
I'll have most Sin City, like 3, 4, 5, and 6. The Tales of Ra's al Ghul, because I thought the coloring in it was excellent. I was trying to hold out until they get up to that time period in Chronicles, but it sounds like DC's going to drag their feet just a little bit. So I'm like, nah, I'm just going to get that. I picked up The Last Will and Testament of Hal Jordan because I wanted to read that, where I think that's where he restarts Oer, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to read that, but didn't want to pay for the hardcover. And the 2 George Perez Wonder Womans, which I was been looking for. And the Who is Donna Troy, the Teen Titans one that just came out. Really nice job on that.
Cool.
I picked up a book that I just have to spotlight because
Yeah.
I go
This is
back to
great.
my hotel, right? I've been looking for this. It's Flash Flash 113. It's part 1 of the Race Against Time. It's with John Fox, the future Flash, and it's Mark Waid. So I leave Jamie and Jamie of Earth 2 and Shane. They went somewhere else to get some food or whatever. I go back to the hotel because I'm sure I had bowel problems or whatever. So, what else is
As
new?
you so often do.
Yeah. So I go, let me look through my books. I take this Flash 113. Let me look through it. I go to the letter column because I always look at letter columns to see if like a future star or a future comics writer or artist writes a letter. You always get like Kurt Busiek and some old Avengers, Tom McFarlane, whatever.
I miss
So
my
I
letter
open-
columns.
Yeah, so do I. I open it up. My letter's in it.
No way.
I have a letter in Flash 113 that I never knew about, and it's this long.
It's very
just
long.
very overly written, comic about, letter about when they did Flash Dead Heat with Savitar and Johnny Quick, and one of Mark Waid's just a really great storyline. And I was like, get out. I'm sitting on the toilet going, wow.
We thought something really happened. Something was wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's great. So it's like the 4th book, I
So
think.
it provided
that I
a
have.
little relief to your intestinal
Yeah,
distress.
it did.
I had a
That's
letter
amazing.
published in an issue of Powers.
Really?
It was one of the 3rd or 4th last issue of Powers when it was at Image. It was one of those in there, and he published it. It was funny because I was being a bastard I was telling him about how he misused punctuation or something in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh.
And then because I sent him an email, so
Right.
he printed it in the Powers, and he's like, you just noticed that I'm bad at punctuation, and I've been writing comics for 8 years or whatever, and it's like, so he gave it right back to me, but it was fun, and I,
Yeah.
I was happy to, provided some humor for some people out there.
That's great. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, that's
That was
that's
just
really
neat.
cool. It's something I always started but never went through and actually wrote a letter then.
Pete, here's something that I talked to a guy down at the show who had a stand, and this is very cool, and we're going to line up an interview with these guys too. It's called, the URL is kind of funky. It's Sequart, SEQUART. It's like short for sequential art, .com. And what it is it's an online comics encyclopedia, and they are continuously adding information to it, and it's very, very cool. So you can look up any comic that's ever been published. Now again, there's probably holes in it still because they're working on it, and they're providing cover scans for those comics.
Cool.
And again, they this is cool because you should check it out. Again, it's SEQUART.com. And they're hoping to get people to, send them scans of different covers. So if you have the entire collection of Speedball and you want to scan in those 8 covers and send them to them, they'll put them up. And they have synopsis of every issue, and then they have whole storylines so that you can track the storyline and see all the different issues that the storyline is in, and you can click on a creator and see every issue that he's worked on. And you can just click around for hours. It's kind of like IMDb, only for comic books. It's really pretty impressive. But there's also whole articles on there, essays about various topics about comics and all kinds of stuff. It's really pretty damn cool, and they're hoping to get some people to contribute. So go to this website and check it out, and I'm sure we'll start using it as a reference when we're discussing things. Going, I don't know if that was that issue or not. You'll hear me keying in the background, and I'll be pulling that website up because it's chock full of good information.
I'll put that on my daily internet search. Every day, go through certain sites. I'll put that right on there.
Yeah, that's cool. Those guys were really cool. The one guy was there. He, I can't remember. I think did I write it on the back? No. I think it was Julian. No, did I talk to him? I don't remember. But the guy who actually runs the site was in Hawaii, so he wasn't there. Some guy who was just surfing the web and came across it and emailed the guy, and now he's helping with the company because he was a big fan of it and he's contributing. So he was the guy running the booth at the convention. So, it's definitely fan appreciated. So, check that out. Hey, Peter. You know what time it is? It's time to stump the Rios. All right, we got one from Ryan Johnson. We've heard his name before. Okay. In an issue of Excalibur, a superhero breaks Nightcrawler's leg. Who is it, and why?
A superhero, he says.
Yes, a superhero.
And why? Captain Britain. Because he wanted. He wanted a
He
snack.
wanted him?
I don't know.
All right, Captain Britain is correct.
Ah.
He says, for mackin' on Megan.
Oh. That's good. Did you ever read Excalibur?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did, and it's. I didn't know the answer, but if it was Captain Britain, that was the whole thing. That was his girl. So
do I get a 0.5 for that?
I think you get a 0.5 for
All
that.
right.
That's
Yeah.
at least a half.
All right.
All right, what one German phrase is printed most often in Nightcrawler's word balloons?
Ooh. Unglaublich. However you pronounce it.
I don't
Guten
even
Tag.
what the hell are you saying?
What's that? Like oh my god. Like, is it, or is that? Yeah, it's like unglaublich. Or whatever the hell. Wait a minute. Let me think about that. Because what would he say? Guten Tag. I'll say Guten Tag.
No, it's mein Gott,
Mein Gott.
which is
My
my God.
Right, my God. What the hell is unglaublich?
I don't know
I'll
what
have to
you're
look
even
at
trying
that.
to say.
Look
Not
at that.
Ukla the
Stick
Monk.
to Spanish.
Yeah, Ukla the monk.
Ukla the Monk.
All right, and question number 3. What previously thought dead Legion of Superheroes member was originally not accepted because he did not have a unique power? Under what name was he rejected, and under what name was he accepted?
Hey, read that again.
Okay. What previously thought dead Legion of Superheroes member was originally not accepted because he did not have a unique power? Under what name was he rejected, and under what name was he accepted?
Wow. That's. Whew. I need like an hour to think about that with all the legions.
There are only 37,000 Legion
I
members.
know.
So.
Like at first I thought it was going to be Kid Quantum, but because he doesn't have powers, but that doesn't sound right. Oh wait. Oh no, but he doesn't have 2 names. Woo!
Well,
I'm gonna say Mystery Lad, and then he became Element Lad, but that's not right.
if I had to guess, I don't know the other answers, but I would say Wildstar, Wildfire, Wildstar, whatever that guy was. The guy that's in the
in the
containment suit.
suit when he
I
was.
just have to. That would just be my guess because I know he just came back and they thought he was dead for a while. Like the Legion you haven't been reading.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Old Legion when he was Energy and then he became Wild or something like that. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
Okay, correct answer. Drake Burroughs, a student at Metropolis University. Drake was caught in a reactor accident that destroyed his body and transformed him into anti-energy. With the help of Professor Volton, Drake was able to inhabit a containment suit that allowed him some semblance of a normal life. Drake applied for membership in the Legion of Superheroes under the name ERG-1, but was turned down for admittance. Drake left his containment suit during the tryouts, later to return and reapply for admittance as Wildfire. So, Jamie,
Yeah,
Nice
excellent,
snag.
Excellent.
Nice snag, yeah.
I love when Peter gets stumped on Legion questions for all the
Yeah,
damn
it's
pre-crisis ones we get in his
oh,
trivia.
I know,
my
I
God.
hate it.
What
all those
planet
worlds.
did pre-crisis? What's his name come from? Oh God, kill me.
So, Peter, you got
I got
half
a 0.5.
out of 3. The audience is tough on you. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep
But
sending them.
at least we don't have to send him anything.
That's right. Yeah, you
Technically, I got one, half of
you
one.
got lucky on that one.
But keep trying.
Keep trying.
Come up with another half
You're
a
wearing
question.
them down.
All right. What else do we have? Oh wait, I know. I got to scroll down farther in my email because we have. Oh yeah, there are more. Oh, look at this.
New emails?
Oh, I got more emails here. Look at this. I have a whole section.
It's almost like if this was live, you know what I mean? Like obviously it's not, but
Well,
that
do you
would
want
be
to
kinda
save
cool.
some for maybe another time, or
Well, here's one that we have to do, and I have to actually download it. So
Let me-
somebody kill some time.
Yeah, I'll throw out a website that I found, www.seanbaby.com. It's SEANBABY.com. Excuse me. If you remember in the 80s, maybe the early 80s, late 70s, the Hostess cupcakes and pies and all those ads.
Oh, yeah.
He has like in all of them. He has all the Hostess ads, from Marvel and DC, even the goofy ones that they made up for, like the one for Preacher and I forget, there were some other ones that they did spoofs on. Thunderbolts, I think they did one for. SeanBaby.com, www. He has other like Super Friends things. He has some girl things on there that are kind of cool too. But the Hostess, just to go to the Hostess ads and relive all those, it's just hysterical. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool.
I got a question while we're kind of killing some time here. I kind of thought of this after one of our last get-togethers off of the air, but quick F, Marry, Kill. Let's do a little Black Cat, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy. What would you do?
Ooh, Black Cat.
That's easy for me.
Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy.
Kill Gwen Stacy.
Because she's going to die anyway.
F the Black Cat and marry Mary Jane.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can't stray too far from that.
I don't think you're going to get any disagreements here.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
especially because Black Cat looks like she's going to lose her looks, and eventually down the road she'll
right,
probably
exactly.
lose her looks.
Yeah. All right. Plus, we've seen Mary Jane in a lot of lingerie, and she's really hot. So
Gwen Stacy just seems too much of a goody-goody. Like you would
Yeah.
have to walk on eggshells.
Although
for her.
she's
not
without
real
saying-
goody
without-
anymore. Not
I don't want to
anymore.
spoil anything, but
who she was banging.
She was
She's
yeah,
been
a little
tainted.
loose.
Okay, so I got the download, but I think GarageBand's going to crap out on us pretty soon if we keep recording, so we're going to save that for next time. I know we really built that up big time, and we had the mysterious download. You don't even know what it is yet. So that's going to be all she wrote for our amazing 30th episode.
Woohoo!
Yay.
So-
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday or anniversary or
Whatever.
Whatever it is, I don't know. So I'll just
See ya, everybody.
Ah, crap. I'm hitting the wrong damn
Stop touching those buttons.
son of a bitch. Oh, there's our nice little background
Nice.
music again.
Is
So
this a new thing?
yeah, we played this last episode when you
I
weren't
wasn't
here.
here.
He didn't hear the end of He didn't hear the end of last episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Nice.
download crapped out. It's a courtesy of Mr. Fusion.
Oh,
He
cool.
made us a little,
Excellent.
little background music for the stuff. So to email us, it's comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. And to check out our blog, it's comicgeekspeak.blogspot.com. You can find out more about the Comics Podcast Network at comicspodcast.com. And we once again give thanks to Bob at gamecircuit.net for hosting all our files. And we're going to plead with you to vote for us at Podcast Alley. We have been doing well. We've creeped up to in the 60s or 70s now, but we go up and down, so, more votes the better. And also, we now have T-shirts available.
Ooh.
Very exciting. Our logo on a nice T-shirt. If you want a T-shirt, you can order them on our blog. They're $10. That includes postage and everything. We have red shirts and gray shirts, and any size you want. So we hope that you'll order a T-shirt. And that's pretty much the end of the show.
Great.
So we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.